Hello there. There is a praying mantis in my little Packham's pear, which is, I think, a good sign. It's a good sign that things are healthy. And this here, this section here, is kind of my attempt to make a mini guild, I guess you'd say. And I haven't really followed any of the rules because I hadn't done the research into that when I put this in. Basically, this was my brainstorm idea. And one of the issues we've got is this grass here, which has popped up in a lot of areas. And I have a feeling as though maybe one of the soil deliveries we got might have had these seeds in it, because where certain new stuff has been grown and where I've put soil down, we got heaps and heaps of this stuff. And I'm gonna have to probably take it out by hand, but to do that, I need some replacement soil to go down where it's gonna leave all these big clumps of earth that have been torn out. So over here, I think that's our blue Java banana, and I managed to convince my missus that we'd grow bananas. She was really not a fan because obviously she'd heard all the horror stories about the disease that's going through wiping out bananas everywhere. That is a legitimate problem, but as I said to her, everyone around here grows banana trees. It's not something that we're gonna affect. And obviously we're buying them from local trusted dealers. Regardless, this is going quite well. I picked this spot for this little guild, if you want to call it that, because there's a little bit of a hole as we come down the hill and it's a very damp spot. And so the idea was to grow things that would appreciate the fact that it captures a bit of moisture here. And if you go deep enough, there's a bit of clay. And while that may sound like a bad thing, because it's so dry here, we need something that's gonna retain moisture. We've built up on mounds in the hopes that the mound will keep the upper roots out of that moisture, but they can access a nice amount of moisture from that more clayey ground down deep. And it's kind of like a mixture between clay and sand. So it's not like super clay, but it's a good way there. So the banana's going well. Our Packham's pear is going well. I've got an Asian pear just over there, which was my choice. We got this one for the missus because she loves like a more traditional pear, which, you know, the not very good type. Over there, we've got, I think, a Davidson plum, pretty sure. And then we've got a couple of little, essentially, finger limes. And one of them is here in this kind of little area, and the other one's just over there where we want to expand it out. And we'll even eventually include the feijoa over there in it as well, and hopefully have a garden bed that extends along the hill, almost like a swale, I guess you'd say, because then it can help capture moisture and, yeah, do a good job. The only other thing that I've done here is over the back here, well, at the front I've got ginger, which I planted from the ginger we'd grown, and then basically we split it out. And then I've got what's the yellow root thing like ginger? Cannot remember what it's called for the life of me. I've got the big plant down there which is struggling a little, and I put a little piece in back here. Meant to be really healthy. Anyway, it's totally gone from my mind right now. But yeah, this is my little guild / starter kind of swale, I guess you could almost call it. And hopefully I can weed out this grass and get it going a little bit better, plant it out a little bit more, because at the moment it's going along nicely, but it has been a very hot and dry summer, and obviously most of this stuff didn't go in until after spring, so it didn't have that beautiful growing period when everything's kind of a little bit better in the garden. And so as you can see, that is our feijoa. We haven't had any luck with it fruiting. We have had flowers, but that was about it. And then we move across here. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's the blue Java banana, which are a little bit more frost tolerant, which is why it's out in this more exposed part of the garden. We've got some ginger popping up underneath it there as well. Got some more ginger here in under that pear, along with all that weedy grass. Pospalum, is it? Something like that. And they're not really quite as joined up. I don't know if you can see it at the back there, but that there is our finger lime, and it's looking a little bit sad. It needs really to be cleared around it because it is a citrus and I don't think it likes the grass kind of crowding it out. And then here, pretty sure this is our Davidson plum, which has this really beautiful growth, and it's getting eaten a bit by insects, but given time and the camera actually focusing, this should do well. And so one of the things I should mention is the swale going across the hill here, or the guild, or whatever you want to call it, is a building block to hopefully running multiple of them, because we're on quite a steep incline. That way we can essentially set multiple kind of the same setup, swales up that are growing multiple species and things like that. And yeah, end up with like a really successful kind of approach. And I'll show you something that's kind of working at the moment. So this is actually a bit more of, I'm not going to say totally natural, because quite clearly when the previous owners had brought down a tree, they dropped it, it's got all bromeliads growing on it. We've even got some bananas growing down the end there that haven't done as well as I would have liked, but that's okay. But we have a natural kind of bed that comes along here, and because it's, again, it's kind of similar to a concept of the swale, where you've got a nice extended almost garden bed on a hill, and here it hasn't been dug up and we haven't got that kind of more traditional structure, but instead there's a tree that has been dropped along the back there with the bromeliads all growing on it, and there's no doubt that that captures moisture in the ground. And so here, I think this is a cherry guava. A lot of the stuff that we've put in here is either stuff we've bought at like markets really quite cheap, or that I've got discounted. Here we've actually got our little jaboticaba that I bought from Bunnings, super discounted. It was looking really sad. It's still looking really sad because it's just been dry, and I thought it had died, but it came back with leaves, and I need to give it another water. It's one of the few things that I'm babying along, because if we can get it established, I think it'll be okay, but it's a hard life for it at the moment until that happens. I think that is an ice cream berry bush there. Again, from the market, nice cheap purchase, and that's why a lot of these plants have been put in here. We've got a little pink limeberry bush there, which that was like a full price option, but again, thought it'd do well. It has struggled from just too much sun, so it's gone very, very kind of pale and bleached leaf color. And I did put a tree protector around it, but I didn't have any extra shade cloth to give it a bit more protection, which is what I really needed to do. And we'll move along a bit. I'm not going to go jumping in the bushes because there could be snakes in there, but we've actually got a fern that I planted, and the idea with the fern was that if I put one in here and we've got some in our little shade garden over there, given time, they would grow up and they'd provide protection for everything around them, particularly those bromeliads, because I want to keep them alive and I want to just get them a little bit more protected in the summer months, which they will no doubt appreciate. We got a lot of weed issues. Again, I think it's from the postpalum grass here that I need to get out. It's just all appeared in the last year, which is really annoying. And we'll move down. Pretty sure that's another cherry guava. Most of this stuff, again, bought super cheap from a market, so it's why I didn't mind just chucking it in here, because for the small investment, it was just worth a try, which is something I really, really recommend. If you've got a little bit of money, you can go to somewhere like buy a discount tree or buy discounted plants at a market from someone who's just really not charging, you know, $30 or $40. They might be charging $5 or $10 for each little sapling. It's worth giving it a go. This one here, we did actually spend money on. That's a, spider webs. That's a wax jambu, and I think it's got a different name, but it's almost like a lily-pilly kind of thing, and it seems to be doing quite well here, so that's really good. We have that root veggie herb thingy in there. Let's see if we can. Does it have a name on it? It doesn't. Turmeric. That's what it is. It's turmeric. That was the big one, and there's some over with my banana and pear over there. And then over here, we've got a loquat, which looks like it's been attacked. So there's something that's quite visibly taken all these chunks out of the main stem. Which might explain why it's not looking so good.